das 15 Jahre eingelagert? Ich sehe, das ist
Yes.
seit 15 Jahren eingelagert, eigentlich so.
Ja.
Das ist aber nicht gut, schreiben sie dann.
Ach so, ja. Sind das so diese Trash-Talker?
Das müssen sie dann auch mal zwischendurch anschalten. Ich sage, ey, Alter, interessiert mich Scheiß, willst du das jetzt kaufen oder nicht, Alter? So Rage-Bait.
Um dann so runter zu handeln, ja.
Ich habe keine Ahnung. Aber es sind auf jeden Fall übelst weirde Leute teilweise.
Ja.
Einen habe ich mal rausgeschmissen.
Alright. I think we're live. Hello, welcome. Everyone rewatching this. Say goodbye to Robert, who's leaving the studio. You won't see him. And say hello to me, the LAWO console, and a new device that I brought. So while I'm waiting for everyone to show up and say hi, I might just as well recap the mix that we did last week, which I think turned out fantastic before we were setting up reverbs. And then we might set up a new reverb. We will get to this very, very special box very, very soon. Yes, until then, let me confirm that everything's working. Streaming on YouTube is still new for me. So, yeah. Sorry if not everything is working right out of the gate. And it wasn't. Where is it? Visibility. No. No. Can I? Arbeiten. No! Anzeigen einfügen. Virtualisierung, Modus, Overlay für Pausen. Where is it? Ah! Yeah! Yes. Yes. Good that we checked that. I guess we are live now. I had the stream on non-public. I must have missed the box. And as I said just a few seconds before I went on to check it, this streaming on YouTube is fairly new for me. I was streaming a bit on Twitch before, which was nice. But I had the feeling that my audience that I have mainly on YouTube were not quite able to make the switch over to Twitch. So I'm trying it here now. Very welcome everyone rewatching this, everyone live on stream. We have a few very, very special things planned for today. There is this reverb that I want to check out. I'm so excited. I did already test it on the spot before buying it, of course. And I had no complaints except for, there's one light bulb in here which is not working. I know some people are changing these for LEDs. I could also very well, I think, just screw this out and put a new one in. And I might even, because they remind me of the knobs that are in the ADT console that I had, I might even be able to exchange the light bulb. What I want to say is I think I have one of these light bulbs in my shop, so I would not call this an issue yet. while we're waiting for everyone to come in, feel welcome to say hi in the chat. Ask some questions if you want to know anything about me, my work, or the system we're sitting in front of. I thought maybe I'll play the mix from last week before we really get going. And yeah, I thought maybe we're mixing another song later today. And then also I recognized there is this tape machine. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. There is this tape machine. Which I have not yet properly set up to work with this desk. There were gain staging issues. Sorry. Which resulted in me having a bit of excessive noise on that deck. So yeah, can I maybe, because I notice when I'm trying to read chat, I'm looking away from you. So maybe if I put chat here, yeah, I can kinda see it without looking to the back. Two people already. Hello, welcome to the stream. Big things planned today. We have my new reverb unit, which I will connect shortly, and we'll put it through its paces. I am so excited. Here's the calculator. I was dreaming of having a reverb unit with a calculator, right? Similar to, I think the most famous one is the Lexicon 480, which has this lark remote, the white one with the faders. There's the Lexicon 224. There's this one. I think there is one AKG with a remote. There's quite some. I know there's a Clark Technic reverb that has a small remote as well. There's different Lexicon remotes. There's this Lexicon MIDI remote. I don't remember how it's called. And yeah, the earlier EMTs. Oh, this here's a bit loose. The earlier EMT plate reverbs. I mean, there's the plate and then there's the gold foil, right? These two had remotes as well, which allowed you to control the reverb decay. I think that's it, the reverb decay. AKG BX20. Very famous. I think the most professional spring reverb, and I think it's the only one, which seems to be kind of a thing. Like, there's only one company that built professional plate reverbs, actually. Like, plate reverb is such a thing, right? Every reverb unit has like a plate reverb preset, right? But then there was only one company, the EMT company, that was building professional plate reverbs. And then if you go into spring reverbs, I mean, there is a lot of semi-professional spring reverbs, and then a spring reverb is in almost, well, in a lot of guitar amps, right? But then if you look at the professional market for spring reverb, there's not so much. AKG, they built the big one, and I was just about to call them the only ones that built professional spring reverbs and compare them to EMT, but no, it is not true, because we have the Great British Spring, I think, which is a very professional spring reverb, also in like a big tube. Then I know Roland built some quite sophisticated spring reverbs. And then you have a few modern units, like I know Audioscape, I think that's what they're called. They have kind of like a chromatic spring reverb with 12 tanks, which but they got the idea from like a resonating piano. That's why they have 12 springs, right? Where you can set the color and tone. Pretty cool unit. There's this one guy on YouTube who did a demo on it recently. Forgot his name. And yes. Hello and welcome, everyone. Is that actually what's my sample rate is 48? What's the? Does the streaming software have a sample rate? Audio? It does. 44.1. My desk is in 48. 48 kilohertz. This is 44.1 kilohertz. Nice. Nice. Got myself a drink. Hello, welcome. And I got myself a plate. Hello, Johannes Kern in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. This apple is for later. Yes. And then I guess we let's start and connect this thing. Hallo, Herr Nachbar, schreibt er. Questions, neighbor from where? There's a lot of places that I have neighbors. Hi from Brazil, man, so cool. I think last stream we had a guy from India here. He was keen to make music with me. I'm in contact with him. But as I make most of the music on spot, it's yeah, I'm not really a fan of like sending beats. So let's connect. First of all, the remote. I think the remote cable, what is it like? It's a 6-pin XLR. I know where to get 7 pins. And then with this computer thing, the question is always, is that a straight cable or a cross cable or whatever? So I'll try to take good care. But this seems like a long cable. I don't know if the idea was for this reverb to have it like in a machine room or something. I don't know why, because it's the only thing you can do. I'm always, yeah. Verleitet, you say in German. To just open this up. Just like with cars, you know, when you don't really know what to do, but you just open the hood to be like, oh yeah, okay, there's a motor inside. So this connects to here, and then once I start up the unit, nothing will happen. Well, at least not this lamp will not go on. There's another lamp in the back, which is an LED, and that is working. Ah, wait a second. Yeah, Johannes, but I think I have you under Florian, no? Because you listed as Johannes here. I think I still have some. I wanted to write you a message because I still have your speakers, and I'm actually trying to work on them. But I need if you're the one that I think you are, I still need your the speakers to test it. That's why I wanted to contact you. If you are the person, yeah, you are. This is a digital reverb from. Let me maybe turn it around a bit. This is a digital reverb from 1981. So this is shortly after, you would call it in Germany you say Weltraumheizung. It's the radiator, the EMT 250 I think reverb unit. That was the very first commercially available digital reverb. And then not too long after, Sony came out with this reverb. There's a computer inside. You have the original Sony fans. They're not too noisy. Maybe I will exchange them. Maybe they will work fine in the rack. So let me give you a round tour of this unit. There it is. Digital. Proudly digital. Yes. Yes. This is the side view where you have these two fans. Sony. Interesting that these fans are Sony branded. Made in Japan, yeah. They made their own fans, it looks like. This is the back of the unit, where you find an LED working, the XLR I/O that I will connect, and then it has an Inventarnummer. So this unit was bought from the GDR, or from an institution, which is the Studio für Spielfilme. Right, so this was probably Babelsberg as well. I have another reverb that has a similar sticker on it. Here we go. This is the unit. This is how the remote looks like when connected, and you can see it is working. I'm very happy. I tested it out on the spot already, but I did not have the time to like really listen to it. That's what we're going to do here today. Mostly it is confirmed working. When I change things, I don't know if you can hear him, there's this little beep, and I think the mic that is active is here on the computer. I don't know if you were able to hear that. It's a cute beep. I don't like it. I don't like it when when there's an annoying beep. But this is actually kind of cute. And there's a button, so I don't even have to press a menu or a combo. There's a buzzer button here on top. If I press that, it is silent, but I do hear clicks inside the unit when I press things on the remote. With the buzzer, they're both beeping. So this thing beeps, and this thing does a little blip as well. Hello, Dr. Taube. Cheers for having you in the chat. Well, very, very welcome. So yeah, this is the new thing. This is the new baby. And I guess I get some cables, hook this up, and then there's a lot of previews in my live stream. It's always good to tune in live, because you will see the things that will appear on the main channel weeks later. I'm pretty sure I will do like a short documentary of this reverb in any form. Maybe it's just a short, maybe a proper video. There is videos about this reverb online. It's a Sony DRE-2000. There's actually quite good videos of it online. And it does have a reputation for not like the lexicons, right? But it was used by some famous mixing engineers. I think the most famous one is Chris Lord Alge, who says it's his room. Like he uses it on every mix and every drums, especially with the 1 second short room settings, and that's what we will try today as well. I will open a project that I have open right now, because maybe he still has the files loaded on my computer, does he? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. So, I guess in order for this to be, how do I do this the best? I just skip to this section here. Let me show you what's going on. I think I can switch. Does that work? Yeah, it does. Nice. I think it is something like this, and this goes here. Give me a second. This goes here. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This project, you will hear this project tomorrow in the video that is coming out. Please say hi on my new video as well and drop a comment. Tomorrow, I think 11:30, so you can watch it in like lunch break or whatever. That's what I'm gonna do, so see you in the premiere. That's what this part here is for, little spoilers. And then while we're at it, I think I'm just gonna do a little project where I route this on my console so we can send it through the unit and mix it with individual tracks, right? So let me load the title on my console. DI Castro, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Console is resetted, and then I think Ableton. Let me switch back over to this view. And I just wrote where there's a few things I have to sort so it looks like a proper mixing project. And Ableton, kick here, snare, overheads, hi-hat. Okay. Yes. Yes. Nobody is hearing anything. I am hearing things now. You are not hearing things. So let me change that. This. That. Yeah, that is live and uncut. Sometimes you have to wait for the music to start. And this is a lot of noise. Now if I send all of it to 5 and 6, you're still not hearing anything. It's my audio cast. Thank you for your patience. Now you can hear what's going on. Let me mute the vocals in order to keep some, to not show everything of the track, because this might be released, but I have the permission to use it for my videos. The band is called Combo Speak, and yes, you are listening to a song of them. Is it loud compared to, I guess so, right? Compared to my voice? Thanks for the feedback. Should I turn it down a bit? Yes. Yeah, but I also see my my microphone. I can see it in the streaming software. My microphone is not super loud. Can I turn up the gain of my mic? I can. I think I can. Check. Yaha! I just turned up my mic. Sorry for the headphone users. You might have to adjust your volume accordingly. And thank you for the feedback. So now the levels, at least they look better. I don't have a good way right now to listen back to my stream on stream, so your comments are very helpful. Besser. Thank you very much. Nice. Let me turn the camera a bit so you see more of the desk. Yes. Right now you can see. Yeah, I did route everything to one channel. Let me just quickly route the kick to the kick. Then I have this. Then I have snare bottom. I have snare. These two overhead left and right. I think I just grouped them to one overhead. Yeah, now you're starting to see the tracks being laid out on the console. I'm getting quicker and quicker with this setup. I remember in one of my videos where I talked about mixing on this console, one of my recent videos, I was complaining about naming every channel, and I think I'm getting better with it. So it's not too much of an issue anymore. Overhead, hi-hat, wursts. And then I have these as bongos, these as congas. Group. It's A11, so this is A9. And this is A7, and then let me fix the noise, because I think you're hearing a lot of noise coming from all of my outboard. So if I do Retro plus 9, reference level plus 6, that should be a little bit better on stream now. Yes, and you see all the tracks beautifully laid out. I mean, at least the left side, let me name that. So we have, I don't know if you're able to spot that. Also, I don't know how good the quality is. I know that Twitch does not have, I think Twitch is like a 1080p, I think, and I could stream HD on YouTube, but I don't know what setting YouTube is, so I don't know if you're able to see the names that I will be giving the channels. there. And then on the display that you see here, I am naming the channels. I know that this is the bottom snare. Here on 19. This is the kick out. The other one is the kick in. So we're like this. I think here I'm starting at a 7, which are the conga, and I have bongo. I think it should be the other way around because the congas are bigger, but well. And I have the famous Wurst mic, I have the hi-hat, I have overheads, and then snare top and bottom. Nice. These recordings were done without toms. Oh, 720p! Oh my! Is that a setting on my side? That is not a lot. Video. Canvas. My video says 1440 times 900. Yeah. Okay. And I cannot change the quality right now. I guess that is still Twitch, and I think Twitch even has a different scaling. Yeah, can't change it. Sorry about that. I hope the audio's alright. I will do next time. This won't be the last stream, but thanks for letting me know that 720 is not enough. And I think I can do more with my network connection and CPU. Okay. That is base 1. Let me add all the instruments. So second one gets into main. This is guitar. This is Nord 1. This is Prophet. This is the Judo, and this is another Nord. So there's some parts of the routing that I have to do every time. One part is the one in my DAW, because the tracks come routed to 1 and 2, and I was working with presets where I would kind of drag them into a pre-routed channel, but that's not a lot quicker than just rerouting it. And sometimes it feels like a lot of work, but it's basically just 5 minutes and you have routed a maximum of 5 minutes, and you have routed the whole project, which I think, if you see mixing, especially if I like really mix a song on the board, a full mix is between 3 and 6 hours. And if I take my 5 minutes to route everything correctly, that is alright with me. 33, 35, 37, 39, 41. And then I try to do presets on the board, and some of it is already here, like my bass. I have bass channels in the right position. I know the 2 before my center section, these 2 should be the bass. I want 2 spaces. I want my kicks here, 2 spaces, my snare, and then on the far left I have my FX channels. The spaces in between I fill with the tracks I have. Every song is different, so it's very hard to make templates that apply to. And if I have to do stuff double, then it's not really a good template for me. So I just rather name them, and I'm getting quicker with this every time. So let me show you the right side that I'm doing now. Does that work? Here's the right side. And you can already see the channels. You're just not able to hear them because I explain later I have to assign them to my analog mix bus as well. first I name them so I know that this is guitar, this is Nord 1, this is Prophet, this is UDO, and this is Nord 2. And that's all my channels labeled. The Rev 1 had it. I think so too. The Rev 1 had a remote as well. Thanks, Mark, for the comment. That is true. Yeah, I think remotes should be more of a thing. And I noticed that some plugin developers are bringing remotes back. Not just for DAW, but I guess TC did some for their units. And then I think there was... And now that was TC, right? They even had a remote which kind of resembled the Weltraumheizung, the EMT250 with its levers. Which I thought was funny, but like in the end, it was just applying to their plugins. And I think what makes these hardware units special is that it's a full-fledged product with ADDA converters, which have their own sound and character, but then also the architecture of these algorithms feels much more advanced than what we're seeing in modern plugins. Modern plugins feel gimmicky against this. Like in the manual you have detailed explanation of like room thesis and stuff, and people had a very scientific approach for these first reverb units. Modern reverb units, a lot of times it's about user friendliness, it's about gimmicky UIs, it's about like features. If I compare this to like a FabFilter Pro R, the Pro R feels like it has a nice user interface and I can control a lot of parameters. But this feels much more sophisticated in terms of algorithm, right? Okay. Yes, now let me go through the board and assign these channels. So that's all drums. Yeah. True, the TC6000 is a unit that I would also love to have. Like the, I know the plugins are fantastic, but with this console system, I'm trying to get away from the plugins because I have to reroute stuff into my computer. That adds latency, which is pre-delay, yes, but for me it feels much more convenient to go out of the console into a unit, and that's why I acquired the Sony Reverb. Now I have the mix on my board, I have a rough balance that I'm okay with. And I will redirect, because it's just so easy to switch it, I will redirect my aux 1 to send to the Sony. So let's set that up. Camera goes back. Nice. Because the M7, it's a reverb that I would also like to own, and I think sometimes you can get it quite cheap. It has a remote, yes. True, TC System 6000 has a remote as well. And then there's this Lexicon, the one that came after the 480, the 960, which has a super 90s looking plastic remote, which I think is kind of cool, actually. Are these cables long enough? No! I need longer cables. Well, this cable is long enough. So if I say I go out of here, insert out one, and then I go into this unit, satisfying click, I route my aux out A1 to my insert one. That is connected. And then I think if I now send something into it, aux 1, turn that up. Yeah, there's a level display on here. Yeah. They call it headroom. If I turn it up more. Yeah. Nice level monitoring on the remote. Okay, next step would be to connect the outputs, and then I would like to do that, or to connect that directly into the console, so I can just plug it into the alternative in here. And for that I need another cable. Yoo-hoo. This device is mono in, stereo out. I would have loved to have stereo in, stereo out, but for that time it was, I mean, most of the consoles did not have stereo accents, right? And then that is one thing that I would love to figure out for my LAWO console as well. I do have stereo auxes, but if I do the panorama for my groups and main bus, that does not reflect it. That is not reflected on the auxes. They have a separate panorama, which I think is kind of like a missed opportunity. Maybe I'm missing a setting where for stereo auxes he takes over the panorama that I have on the main. I would have to look it up in the manual. But I have pre-EQ, I have pre-fader here for the auxes. And that's it. I would love these auxes to be following my main panorama. The only reverb the unit that I have that is stereo in right now is the follow-up actually. It's a Sony, I think it's an M201, I think. But mine is rebranded as an Ibanez. So Ibanez sold these Sony reverbs under their own name with a different front plate. I think the Sony units, they look a bit better, but the Ibanez ones, they can be had for quite cheap. And I think I paid 80 euros for my Ibanez Sony unit. Okay. Connect that, and then hopefully we should be able to hear some reverb. I'm excited. Let's go! I have signal coming in here. Of the snare. These outputs. An alternative. Ah. No! I need to get to the SSL. The button is not pressed. Yeah! 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 A common fault with these is that you have a high hissing, like a hissing white noise on the main out. This unit is quiet, which makes me very happy. So this seems to be, 100% working, which is awesome. I will try to show you the remote now. And we play around with just some settings, see what it does. I mean, this reverb is quite tweakable with the remote. Can I get even... should be getting even closer. Let's see. Yes. Yes. So you see there's 4 like presets. Four presets that we can access. And then for the reverb. And then there's also echo and delay. Let's listen to each and every one, and then we can tweak these settings. So I left the beep on, I just kind of like the beep. And you can see the echoes are like green, so the echoes also have different settings here. K1, K2. And then I think if I go on read, I can read presets from here, where you can see they're all out of different engines, let's call them like that. Right. Then save to, yeah, because the normal, this, if I choose the 0, it has 1.1 seconds. The algorithm is C, and then some of that it might be tweaked. But if I press the normal C, it has 3 seconds, right? And a different value for early reflection. Okay, let's listen to the raw engines. Let's go A. This unit was supposed to model a plate, and I think they did a really good job. Like, the high frequency content is nice. The mid-range sounds like a real meta plate. On a lot of modern reverb plugins, plate is just a synonym for like a bright reverb. But this does kind of sound like a plate if you close your eyes. Well, I don't know if you have listened to a reapplied. I was lucky to have serviced the EMT 140 at a friend's studio. And they sound kind of like that. I mean, imagine like a metal plate where you know, tap against. It's that sound. Before we explore further, I want to check, because I got my browser there. Can I open just a different browser? My other browser does have YouTube on it, which is good. Sony DRE-2000, and I have the A version, which is the improved version. And people say that this might be the better version. Okay. So A is a plate, B is a spring, C is a hall, like a concert hall, and D, they called it like a special program. It's a DRE-2000 special, where they say it's special. It has a special structure in the high frequencies, which should be very good for pop music production. Let's verify that. So the plate was sounding like a plate. Let's go B. I think some of the like darker qualities of a spring were definitely there. What I'm missing for an accurate spring emulation is the springiness. Let me try to show you a real spring, because I happen to have one. And for that, I think I just use Oxy 1. Then I route Oxy 1 to this guy. No. How do I do this? How do I do this best? I think I can do an insert in the snare channel. So I go insert send to here, and then from the 39 to the insert return of the snare. That is my spring. A bit distorted. I can drop down the send level. Sorry for it only being on the left side. My spring, reverb spring is mono. But maybe you get the idea. There's two qualities of the spring. One is that, or like the springiness. I mean, it has two frequencies where it's important. One is the high frequency, where you have like a boing. And then you have the lower frequency where it's like wobbling around. And I think the lower part is actually quite okay. But I'm missing the high part on this reverb. Let's listen to it again. No, this does not sound like spring at all. Let's go to C, Hall preset. This is a very long reverb. Maybe it's better on other instruments. Let's try piano, maybe. Beautiful. Very nice. Fantastic call. I think we should be fair and try the spring preset on some signals that like springs too, like guitar. I think the RT high and low frequencies, they change with the... Do they change with the preset? Right now they don't. I mean, that's what I could tweak, right? Yeah. If we take this, for example, I think if we put it to 1. That makes it sound much more springy, actually, yeah. I think the default was 0.33. At low frequency, even 1.5. But like a spring is very boomy, so it could even be. Yeah, you can actually tweak this a bit, which is nice. Spring, I would still prefer other reverbs for the spring. Hall was amazing on piano. Let's try the special one, which is the program D, and let's see how that performs on snare drum again. I mean, if that was to work on snare drum, we would have to put it way down. Can I just enter a value? Yes! I don't like it too much on snare. I guess this is, I don't know what this is for. Probably vocals. I don't want to show vocals here. Let's try some percussion. Nice. I don't think I have to press enter, because watch what happens if directly after I entered the value. Oh wait. For some I do, but I think if I use this. Let's see. I'm new to this device as well, good tip. For the up and down, I don't need to. But I guess if I enter a value, then yes. Sounds really, really good. It reminds me a bit of because System 6000 was named earlier. There's these percussion programs on the VRS3, I think it is, from the System 6000. Yeah. This is early reflections. So there's my, I have my reverb time, and then I have here early reflections and sub reverb. I don't really know yet what it is. Early reflections, I know that's the level, and then sub reverb maybe is what comes after. Maybe not. I have early reflection delay time. So the pre-delay kind of for the early reflections. Then the pre-delay for everything, and then for sub reverb as well. Might have to read a manual for this. I might have to. What else did I want to try on that? Well, if I... I know why they call this kind of like a pop preset. It sounds like an 80s pop ballad. Yeah. Nice. Mm-hmm. What's the longest? Yeah, okay. Nice. Nice. VSS3, yes. The VSS3 is a very nice reverb as well. Yeah, can highly recommend it. I think TC sells it now natively. It was available for, I think, the Pro Tools system for a bit. And now on a System 6000, they had this multi-band compressor, MD3, multi-band dynamics, which is fantastic too. I use it from time to time for like mastering or yeah, mix bus finishing. Very cool. Let's try the delays just for a bit. I wouldn't really know. I would probably never use the delays, but let's see. Nothing on the backside. Kind of like a ping pong. And this kind of has like an... Is that a pitch envelope? Was there? Not on my unit, sadly. No feedback. I think delay is just delay and echoes like with feedback. Probably that's the feedback rate. Okay, cool. That's whoops, sorry. I think that's most of what this thing can do, and for me it can do one thing very well, and it's the A program. I think the A was my favorite because it worked with drums. Yes. Let's put this on everything. Could be longer a bit. I like the high frequency extension. It gives a very satisfying sizzle. Makes it sound really bright. Is there an easy way to turn it off? I think I can go into the aux master and mute it. Yeah, without. I was on the wrong fader, give me a sec. Yeah. Yee-hee! No reverb. With this on a lot of things. Software with around 10K. All right, that's that's with it in the mix. I think it blends very well into the mix. The tweaking features are actually kind of nice. I wonder if I will tweak it. Whew, there goes one of my lights. I wonder if I would tweak this in a mix situation or just like use one preset for everything. That'll show. It was hard to decide between the 10K and the 13K right now. Both had their advantages. But yeah, I think this sounds really, really nice. The plate setting. Short, like I think 1.2 seconds was a sweet spot. Really, really nice. Love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. There were some very nice questions. How are you patching the DRE into the LAWO? Right now, there's aux1 that are designated to collect all the audio that I want to send to the unit. I'm then patching in this. I have a patch panel here in this computer where I use the sum of aux1 and I send that out to one of my converters in the patch bay. On my patch bay I have converters mostly for like inserts. You see equalizers, compressors and stuff. And I use just one of the converters for it to go into the reverb. That I patched that here, and then I went from the reverb directly into an input that I have on the patch bay for the analog summing, so that it arrives in time with the other signals. If I would have this as an insert on the console, it would have 4 milliseconds. Is that 4? I think I have 3 to 4 milliseconds of round trip latency with my converters of the desk. That is one big reason for me to use analog summing, because it makes sure that everything arrives at the same time and I do not get timing issues with things. And usually all the inserts that I don't do them on the console, I do them in my DAW in Ableton, so that I can eliminate the timing differences, right? I kind of ping it and then I subtract the latency, so everything is still in time. The other question was which converters, if I know which converters are in the LAWO. The LAWO uses these interface boxes, and if you're meaning converter chips, I know that the A's use a Burr Brown 1602, I think it is. Pretty convenient converter chip. It was considered state-of-the-art in the late 90s. It still holds up, I think. There is better chips out here today. I mean, the chips in there, they could bear, I think they do 22 bits. Do they do true 24 bits? I don't know. But they're good enough for me. They won against a Universal Audio Blackface Apollo in the listening test. One of the most underrated things in D to A and A to D conversion for me is the analog signal path. So how well are these converters embedded in there? And that's why they did a fantastic job in this board. And that's why these converters sound actually pretty good, in my opinion. Because all of the electronics surrounding the converters, and then in these desks they put transformers in every channel, right? So yeah, that does help with impedance matching, but it also gives it a bit of a character, if you will. Otherwise it's just a digital desk. There is not much character in here. Yes. That is the Sony DRE-2000. Thanks for checking it out with me. I'll take a quick break here on stream. I'll answer a few questions. If you just tuned in, hello and welcome. And I'll dig into my folder and maybe we'll mix something today. But I think what I would have to do before we mix something, and maybe that's what I'm going to do now is we were mixing a song last week and I added a few things to my template there. A few reverb and effects units that I want to add. I don't know if I will add this Sony reverb to my mixing setup right away, because A, I need rack space and that is pretty tight. B, there's a little bit of maintenance I want to do to this thing. As much as I love the original Sony fans, I think I would like to exchange them for more quieter modern fans. I'm just checking out the noise. It's actually not too bad. It's not like a rattling noise or something, right? But there's still I would have to find a space for it first. So yeah, I guess we just open the project from last week. Let me see. This thing is supposed to have a digital... No, this one doesn't. I think you're referring to the... Not the A version, but the version before actually had a digital input to it. This one does not. This one only has analog I/O. So I can't. My desk could be able to supply a digital output. But yeah, this one does not have an input. Reverb test. Let's load a project from last time. And then I would have to load it here as well. And sitting next to the fans, I get a nice breath of fresh air. A breeze. Okay, last time we were mixing this song. Let me load it. Yes. Nice. Nice. So I think what I want to copy is the reverb routings I did last time. And then also I have +4, +6 on the headroom here. Look. Zip. Exchange a light. Ha! Nice! Nice, nice. Nice. Where was my browser? Is there like a manual for this thing? Somebody wants money for it? Original manual, $100. What is wrong? What is wrong? It was sold. Operation and maintenance. Okay, but that's really good. That's fantastic. I think somebody sells a copy of these like schematics. For like $25, but having the real book is very nice. Yeah, this is cool. This is $4. But I don't get a preview. Service manual. No. Pins for the remote cable, that's nice. Here somebody sold it for $40. Good DIY. PCB but no schematics. Yeah, that's the earlier version that has digital I/O. Mine has not. There are a lot of revisions of this unit. Yeah, it's $4. I mean, I could buy it for $4. Just trying to see if I find one like for free. That is a different unit. Did you buy it for 4? Or was somebody else referring to it? I found somewhere. I found a bigger manual for more money. Yeah, this reverb is very nice also. They say it themselves. Okay. Interesting. Well. Okay. All right. Yep. That's it for the reverb. I take a 2 to 5 minute break now. Have my apple. If there's any more questions regarding this unit, or if there's anything you would like to hear through it, just let me know and I'll play it for you. And then I think I will build it back down so it can be checked in my workshop. I do want to make sure that there's not like a leaking battery or anything inside that could harm this unit long term. I think this is in really nice condition. Yeah, very thankful to have this in my studio. Bought it for a very fair price as well from somebody that is making film, and that might explain the sticker on the back of the unit that says that it was from like a Spielfilm thing. Yes, this is mono to stereo. Very typical for that time. So I think most of the reverb units before were mono, or at least they started, like the plate reverb was mono definitely. I think the AKG BX20 spring reverb. That was dual. Stereo in, stereo out. Nice. EMT 140. Is that stereo in, stereo out? Nice. Interesting. I know for the digital units, EMT 250. There it is. The original. The first. The first. Yes. This thing is so awesome. Where's the ins and outs? I mean, just look at it. How can something be this cool? I have the outputs in stereo, yes. It's this is mono to stereo, so I go mono in, stereo out. There's some modulation happening between the two channels, so it is like just a wider reverb. Oh. They stopped servicing the EMTs in 2017. Where do you plug audio in this thing? Into this? 5,000. Damn. There it is. One input, 4 outputs. And that is for a lot of units the standard, or has been. So my PCM60 is the same as well. Lexicon, I know the Lexicon 224. But is that true? Is the Lexicon 224 mono in? Show the back side. Yeah. Stereo input. I think the Lexicon came after this. Or is it? No. Lexicon was 1978. This is 1981. Interesting. Why is this mono to stereo? Beautiful device. I feel very, very lucky to have this. Can't wait to use it on everyday production and find a setup. I mean, I don't really have a space for this manual. It's a bit too big for here. Where would I have this then? And it's a bit too big for like this armrest. Probably somewhere over there I would have it. I think I know where I would put it. What will I buy next? Christmas presents. Whoa. In terms of gear, I am about to buy a pair of TAB, or is it Telefunken V74 tube amplifiers of the 50s, or yeah, I think it's 50s. That's what I will buy next, and that I'm trying to save up some money again. Well, I want to buy an MPC 1000 or an MPC 1 for my synth setup. But studio-wise, I'm actually pretty happy. I mean, I'm always on the hunt for devices that are pretty rare, and then I buy them if they're cheap. There's not a lot of things that I really need to buy, right? So I'm trying to relax a bit with that. That was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, I think where I will put the remote for the reverb is probably like right here. It's not like in the center. I know these were kind of made to, and then the Lexicon Lark is famous for sitting like in the center of the console, but I don't have any space here. So I think there to the side is fine. But yeah, I will have to make space for it first. Nice, a lot of people in the stream today. Thanks for everyone that's watching. We're kind of done with the main course. Please make sure to watch my video that is coming up tomorrow, where I show how I recorded my first band on this console. Very, very much looking forward to all of your comments. There. And then there's two things that we could do now. And I think we're doing the fun thing first. Because yes, I have to transport some things over to my mixing preset. But that's boring work. That I will do kind of like in the very end for all my late nighters out there. You're welcome to stay until the end. I will show everything. Like, for example, right now, this is live. The server rack. The server Schrank. Haha. Stay tuned for that. Is the server Schrank in the room with us right now? Well, well, well. Well, well, well. So these cables go here. The bonus thing that I want to do today, and I'm not sure if that works. But let me show it to you already. Extend this. Whoop. Put it on its. Oh. Over there. Yes, for our little dessert. We're we're going to do tape, because I still haven't properly configured this to work with the LAWO. But we will be doing so today. And there's two things that I want to check and I can't wait. I really can't wait. So, first of all, let me skip some of this here and I do a new title. Production will be tests. A new title will be called tape tests. I have been quite successful in offering tape mastering with this machine. It is completely serviced, the heads have been relapped, some of the tape path has been reworked, the electronic has been reworked, and I took great care to measure this in. So this machine sounds fantastic. You will have a hard time to distinguish it against the original recording. But yes, this is a oops, he was not able to fail to open file. Interesting. Can I just load this? Yeah, this is a blank console. The machine, did I tell it? Sorry. It's an Otari MX5050 and it's the Mark 1. There is a Mark 2 that came after that has some digital time code. Some parts of that was digital, and then the Mark II also has test tones in 1 kHz and 10 kHz, which makes it nice to measure in some of the bias and azimuth and whatever. When I measure this in, I use digital test tones from my computer. They work fine. Okay, they work fine as well. It just froze. Do it again. So, pro machines. Do you know any non-pro machines? I know there's some semi-professional. Let me get the camera over here. Yes. I know there is some semi-professional machines like the Revox that are pretty popular. My studio neighbor here, he has a Tandberg. Which is also nice. And then this one is like it's not semi-pro, but you have this league of like Studer and Ampex, which they used for like mixing and mastering back in the day for the very, very professional level. And this was just like one step below it. And I think there's two features that this one is missing. Feature one is a balanced input stage. This has a balanced output stage, but not a balanced input stage. I usually have a set of transformers that I use to balance it out, but I think I don't need that anymore, but we will try it today as well to test that. And the other feature that this one does not have is some of the tape path is like just a metal bar where the tape runs over, and the very professional tape machines, they have everything on ball bearings, so that every single thing in the tape path spins. Right, and this one does not have that. So some of these is just like metal where it rubs over. And the difference is that there's a little bit more wow and flutter in these. But I think for like modern tape usage, this is actually perfect because the pro machines, they kind of sound too good. So if you're using a plugin nowadays, like a tape plugin, a lot of the times they put way more distortion and wow and flutter in these, so you really hear an effect. I mean, these pro tape machines, they were built so you do not hear it. It was so funny. I think SSL put out like a guide for their consoles, and they were advertising their first B series console as a console that has nice saturation characteristics, and I'm 100% sure that's not what they would have advertised this in the late 70s. They would have said it does not have distortion, right? But that's how times changes, and that's how view on technology changes. And I think this machine actually benefits from it because this is a piece where it's not too high end. And that's a good thing because it has a nice sound to it. Or like a desirable sound nowadays. Bigger tape like AK, TX10, Sony one. Yeah, I think these were like for the home. These were like consumer machines, right? But TX, for example, they make really nice machines. TX10. Oh yeah, these are nice. These are very nice. But I think, and that's the problem that I have with most of these hi-fi like tape machines. Most of them have like kinch, so unsymmetrical I/O, and for studio, yeah, this one as well. It's all kinch. And then in the studio, that's not always what you want. Yeah, exactly. Tape plugins try to make it audible that it's tape. Upper end, yeah, I think tape in general was like an upper end thing. Because a proper tape machine, it has so much moving parts. At least it feels a lot more complicated than like a vinyl player, and maybe that's why tape never was a widely adapted consumer format. Also because the tape in itself is pretty expensive. If I buy a new tape, I think for like 100 minutes, so like a kilometer of tape, I pay 60 euros, which is quite a bit more than vinyl. Okay. So here is my Ableton. Do I have like a 2-track somewhere that I could use in my project? Let's use something different. There's a project that I'm working on. Yeah, I could use the demo. Maybe download it from the cloud. Yee-hee. Johannes Kern, aka Flo, thank you so much for having you here today. Have a good night rest. And yeah, see you soon. See you very, very soon. Well, this sounds like something that would work very, very well on tape. I mean, some parts even don't have higher frequencies at all, but I think that's good because I want to test for hiss as well. So, first step would be to send it out, and I will right now use the tape machine as an insert. When I will mix, I will kind of patch it into my mix bus. But for mastering, it should look something like this. So, yes, and I think I have to load a different template on the console. Yes. Yes, now let's patch the machine in. And there's a few things that I would have to do for it. So on my zip patch bay, I use my insert outputs. I go into tie line 1 and 2. I will dead end these, so I'll make sure, because this is normalized, I'll make sure that there's nothing else on it. Now on this left side, can I show the whole studio for this? So I have these two racks, and then there's one pitch bay here, and then one pitch bay there, and I have 8 tie lines at the moment that interconnect these. And what I also have is this is connected to the patch bay, and I'm missing labeling for it. So I guess what I will do now is I try to make a label as well, so that I find the tape machine on the patch bay. patch editor. Yes. So the tape machine is somewhere on this lower patch bay. And I actually have to open it to see where. Or did I? Wait a second. Maybe I've wrote that down. Maybe I do not. Maybe I do not have to open the patch bay. Where is my... My patch bay labeling is pretty recent. Before I used to do everything just with like an Excel sheet. On this case, numbers. Tape in. Should be here. And this should come from 1, 2. Let me see. If I now power this on, no power. Power here, power there. Nice! Nice, nice. Yes, and I see signal on it. Let me finish the patch. There are these. Patch them here. Source. So we're monitoring input. Whoop. And then, moment of truth. Nothing. No, not nothing. I'm just not wearing my phones. That is wrong because on the console I have my new gain setting. Yeah. And now you see pinned meters because and that's the gain staging that I have to do. You know what? Let me just quickly align it. Why not? So in Ableton, I use an operator because that can give me like a clean yeah. Yeah. And then I can have this fixed at 1000 Hertz. And you don't have to listen to it, so I'm muted. But I will send it to the machine, and there you see it. There you see it. And I am sending -13 right now. Let me do -12. Yes. Great. Yes. Yeah. I mean, remember the left and right channel being a bit off in this machine. But it could also be that the meters have drifted. Depends if we're now seeing, but we're now seeing a pretty even level returning. The only difference is that the level returning is a lot lower. And I think I changed something last time. So on the back of the machine I do have record level. Oh, that is not changing anything. Line input. Output level. Yes. Yes. Output level switch to high, but still, if I run through the machine now, I am getting a 1 point something decibel boost, where I should be getting the same. So if I let me use a different meter for that. BX. Oh yeah, let me show you the machine. There's a BX meter for both channels. Yes. Well, that looks just like I had it before, and this is -1 with -12. So 0 dB VU right now is minus 12 decibel full scale. And if I turn it up, yeah, this 1 needle pins. This is 0, yes. Yes. What is that? Minus 8 decibel full scale is starting to pin there. But I'm not seeing peak yet. And I think that's for the VU system normal. Let's try to get peak. Peak is coming on at minus 3. That's good. I think our gain staging is good. Now let's try again with the song. I am hearing noise, and that is noise that I don't like. It's a humming noise. And it's way too loud. It is way too loud, so maybe that is where I need transformers. That is the question. Is it? So I have these Lundal transformers that I used before with the tape machine to lower the noise. And then first thing I want to check is that noise on input. So if I disconnect my inputs, this is left, this is right. No, the noise is still there. It is lower, but it is still there. Looks like a grounding issue. Well, first of all, let's check if it goes away with the transformer. So I have the left side. And then for the right side. Now that's like a ground loop thing, right? If I have this connected here, both channels, like the whole machine basically, is outputting, putting out more noise. Yeah, that is way too much. I should show it to you here. This is with the machine. This is without. And then minus 50 is too much. Way too much. And I think that's where I stopped last time. There's ways around it. I mean, obviously, if I turn the output level down, this goes away, right? Or gets lower. Now I have way more acceptable minus 65. But my signal is quieter. And I think that's what I did last time. I'm trying to cheese it, but then again, if I turn the input up, I'm also turning the hum up. So I think I need kind of like a ground lift. Sadly, my transformer box that I'm using here as well does not feature a ground lift, which is sad. But then, you know what we do? We ignore the noise, and I want to at least gain stage it. Right. So that after I fix the noise, I would be able to use it. So let's go back to the test tone that you're not hearing. Yeah. Go back to that. And then pull these back. Open them on high. Then I also want to see the difference. If there's a level difference in transformer versus no transformer. And I think with this console there shouldn't be any, because this console actually has transformer outputs, transformer based, meaning I can use the unsymmetrical input. Yeah, level is the same, without any additional transformer on here, which is kind of cool actually. What was I having? Minus 17 is what I had before. S0. Oh no, I think I had -1. Okay. This is calibrated now. I don't know if you're able to see it. Sorry for the low YouTube quality. Next time for my stream, I'll remember to put the quality up beforehand. Okay. Yeah, like I said, ignore the hum. I can trust the machine, but then also a lot of times I have to recalibrate it a little bit. That's just daily work with it. Like there's so many moving parts, but being able to measure it in myself is definitely helps. Okay, let's try to record on tape. I mean, I could play what is on the tape. So sorry for the jump scare. There is stuff on it that is a bit louder. I think at one point I put these on in reverse, that is why. There's this music on it already. Let's see what happens if we record on it. So I play music, I can hear it on input. For now. Oh, I have to record enable the 2 channels. And that's where I figure they're a bit off. So let's go back to the test tone again. I loop this section, I turn this off, I play it but you won't hear it, the test tone. And then on input, they're the same. And let me show you Ableton as well, because that is important. What we're seeing here on these 2 meters. Because left side, this is what we're sending to the machine. This is what we're getting out of it. On our input, it's exactly the same. Now I'm getting my screwdriver ready because I'll probably tweak this, and I don't want the tape to be running for too long. So I go on record, and if I flip over, I don't know if you see it on. But that's what that's what's just happening from time to time. Here the needle drops to the left, back to input. Same here. The left channel is good, but the right channel, you see, left channel is close to perfect. So let me fix that. Then I have the record level here for the channel 2 that I will just, where is it? Yeah, turn up a bit. That's a bit too much. I mean, let me see that again. It's my RMS in Ableton. Well, that's very close to perfect. Not a lot to tweak here. Yeah. I mean the right channel is wandering a bit. The left channel is super stable, the right channel not. And that's what can happen sometimes with the tape path. Right. And then also I know I should probably demagnetize. Yeah, I can see now the right channel is getting a bit louder. So there is some movement in this right channel. Which goes in the direction of what I said earlier. I don't mind it too much because it gives it that tape feeling. Yeah, this is perfect on the meters now, for show you. Perfect. But then again, you see it here. There is movement, but only on one channel. Yeah. Right. And then, because, I mean, it is, we are working with moving parts here, similar to vinyl. Stuff is spinning, so a little bit of movement is kind of normal for a tape machine, right? But the question is, how much movement is there? You never get zero movement. That's why with the very professional machines you have like 0.001% or something, right? Okay. Tape. Source. Tape. input. Tape. You hear the little delay. That is actually because of the distance the tape has to travel. If I press only one. That's weird, right? That's where tape delay comes from. One more switch between source and tape. Let me play the chorus for that, where you have the most frequencies. Tape. Now. Source. Tape. Source. And that is the thing with these professional machines. You barely hear a difference. It's a little more saturated on the tape. It's a little bit more pleasurable to listen to. But man, this thing hums. What is that? Oh, -40. And then again, it's even louder on tape than on input, even though the input levels match. Whatever that is. I don't know if that's something in the room, if that's something in the power line, or if that is something in the grounding of the machine. We can actually try a few things here, because I just happen to have a grounding port on the back of the unit. Yeah, I can just use a cable. And then if I, for example, what happens if I ground this directly to the frame? Nothing. To my finger, nothing. What happens if this gets different power? So I brought a few of these, and then this right now, this machine is plugged into this rack. Turn it off. And let's try just a different outlet. No, that's the same noise as before. Try to connect it to the same power cycle as the interface unit. It should be this one. That less noise. I have minus 60 here. Minus 65 in this. That is so weird. In this outlet, and then maybe if I plug this back to where it was. Minus 50. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's the Brummschleife. I mean, I guess what I can do, what I try to do is, on the back of this unit, I have my, let me disconnect the inputs for now. And then for my outputs, I mark them first to know which one is the right side. And then I'll try, that's channel 1, that is channel 2. Try to lift the ground, and I should be able to do that. Yes. I just need like a thing. Let me see what tools I have. That's just a scissor. I don't know if that cuts metal. Otherwise, I have to use a soldering iron. Oh no! It's nipped. Perfect. Now, let's try. Ground lifted. No noise. If I add ground, way more noise. We found the problem. And we fixed the problem. Well, let me put these here just so they don't fall down. Yeah, that's a ton of noise. And then work because the others are screened. So if I just snip these off, it should actually work. And if I unplug this, no. Okay, that's because there's noise in the input as well, so I would at least have to cut all the outputs. I might actually have to fully lift the tape machine, ground lift it. Let me show you some of what's going on here. So, yes, here you see my noise levels. And once I connect the input with no signal, it should go up on both channels. Let's see if I'm correct. Yes! Seen it jump up? Other channel, yes. Now if I lift this one as well, what happens? That is the big question. What happens then? Best case is we fix the problem. Snipped, lift it, put it in. No added noise. Does the channel still work? I am on input. Can I play music through it? Yeah! Yes! I just cut the grounding wires on the way to the machine and on the way from the machine. And then let me show you how that looks like. The machine is overhauled. Yes, it's overhauled by me, and it's not a problem of the machine. It's a problem because this takes a different power than the interfaces over there. And anyways, I'm just getting like a ground loop where I'm having hum, right? You see it here. I cut the ground wire. I put it back. I will then close the connector, connect everything, and have a non-humming tape machine. That is the idea. It's very easy. The good thing about it, because I cut it as far to the top as I could, if at a later stage I find out that I actually need a ground connection, because sometimes devices hum if they don't have it, right? Then I can always solder it back on, no problem. And yeah, I know pretty well what's happening here, so I feel confident in doing so. In this case, cutting the ground wire. That is channel 2. Let's see. Show you again in Ableton. Noise stays low. Second channel as well. Snip it off. Like I said, I can always solder it back on if I need the ground to be non-lifted. Did that work? Connect. Noise stays low. Perfect. If I play music. Yes. Well, you know what? You're actually having a point here. Let's test something. This is the connector, the power plug of the machine. And it doesn't feel too original to me. So what we're gonna do is, of course, the machine is not connected, and it has, luckily it has the capacitors are drained, so I can touch it without feeling any leftover power in them. If I now open, yes, the earth is properly connected. Yeah, this is... So the machine should be absolutely fine here. It's just that the way my tape communicates ground or earth to my mixing desk is not optimal. And then ground lifting is actually what the manufacturer of this console recommends. You see, this LAWO console is one of the first consoles ever to use kind of a networking technology. So what you were able to do is to put devices for this console in different rooms everywhere in a building. Sorry, or even across buildings. So they were very well aware that it would be extremely hard to really match ground. So what they did was they put transformers, input and output transformers in every audio path. And then in the manual undergrounding for this console, you actually find a segment that says that I think at least all the outputs from the console are supposed to be lifted. I don't know, but then I mean, ground lifting is a pretty big concept for the console, and yeah. For the future, I might even go as far as to rework some of my patch bays that connect with gear in a way that I have kind of like a standard, like that the ground lift is normal, or at least for the normalized things. I'll see in the future. This worked very well. Plug is back in. Machine is back on. Let's listen again to the tape and see if that is now hum-free as well. Nice. That is tape. If I stop it, nice. I have the tape hiss at -60, which is what is actually factory spec on this machine. I could probably get even better noise rating out of it in a mixing situation where if the way I see it is I could drive this with even more level, and I could bring down the return on the console. But let me try a different thing for the hiss. Let me show you what the hiss looks like. So this is my tape hiss. It has more high frequency content than anything else. There's a little bit of ground, 50 Hz still in there. That's barely noticeable. That is barely noticeable. Tape stop. Yes. On the back of my machine, I have a record level, but I don't know if that. Ah yeah, now the hiss is more. No, the hiss is at like -60, and if I turn it up even more, barely any difference. Let me turn up my phones. It's a little bit quieter if I'm on high level. Let's see how that sounds, or if that is overloading the tape. That is input. That is tape. No hiss. Very good. Let me switch to a lower tape level. High level. Lower level. Higher level. The high level sounds a bit choked to me. This is the lower level, or like the medium level. If I go on lower level, starting to hear hiss. Medium again. Good. High level. Medium level, the high level. I don't know if you're able I don't know if you're able to hear it through the YouTube compression and everything, but I can kind of do a gain staging on the back of the side that decides how hard the tape is actually being hit. Meaning literally how much voltage is being sent to the tape, and then there's different tape formulas that can handle different voltages onto the tape. And I am working with a long player LPR90 that you can buy off Thomann. It's new tape. I don't like using old tape. Old tape is like yeah, it's getting flaky and everything, and it gets dust into your machine, and that's not good. The professional tape I found a lot of times it doesn't work well with a semi-professional tape path because it's thicker. So I tried SM911, I think. Is it really called 911? No, I think it's SM. Wait a second. How is that tape formula called? So there's these different tape formulas. There's tape SM. It is 911. Never thought about it. Not a very fortunate name, no? Yeah, the SM900. Yeah, and you can buy these fresh on Thomann. And then there's the price for the pancake, and then for the pancake with. And I don't like the RTM knobs. I'm very happy to have Ampex ones because they look fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, and I am having the LPR90 also from RTM recording the masters. This is good quality tape. That is also not cheap, but I can do a few projects on it. 2, 3, 4 records before I need fresh tape. Yeah, and that's the SM900, but it's the long play version, meaning it's compatible for low speed. Yeah. And this one is thicker. Crazy expensive. Crazy. BASF. I think it looked like the where was I? Let me close the We're done with reverbs today. Here it looks like the IPR is BASF. Then how's this others? There was this PER 528, pretty famous in German broadcasting. Yeah. PER is AGFR. Yeah. Yes, yes. Oh, BASF did the same? Maybe then it's just a formula. The Revox reels are so nice. You're probably buying the reels more than the actual tape because this tape is gonna be so old. MTech. It's gonna shed. It's gonna ruin your machine. I'm happy with my noise levels and sound as well, right? The machine sounds awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Indeed, right? The machine sounds very, very good. I think I'm at the end of this stream now for today. Been streaming for over 3 hours as well. We did a lot of cool stuff. There was the reverb unit we did at first. If you tuned in later, you can re-watch the stream and see this beautiful piece of reverb in action and hear it. Highly recommend. We did the tape thing now. I'm very happy that it works, and we actually found a solution on stream for our noise problem. It's still running in the background. It's super quiet. On my streaming software, I don't even see any level, which is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I do some of the cleanup. I leave the tune running we had on tape, so you can get some of this nice sounding tape for your late night. And then I say goodbye. And if you have any last questions or comments, drop them in the chat. Say hello if you're there. Happy for every message. And I think today is subscribers chat. So if you're watching and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Also, if you would like to support my videos on my channel, please consider becoming a Toby Trooper, a channel member. All infos in the video description. Now run the tape. The tape is already running. And yeah, let's go.